Good morning and welcome to episode 1679 of Hard Factor. It is Monday, March 31st, 2025. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. 80% accuracy guaranteed on this podcast. Patreon.com/Hard Factor if you need more Hard Factor. And speaking of the Patreon community, congratulations to Mark and Chief Farley's Arm Hairs. The Chief Farley's Arm Hairs, the team, for winning trivia last Friday night. Pat, condolences for passing the crown, but you had a great second place performance. So you're
heavy
right
is the head that wears the crown.
You're up there, So
the most important thing is that we all had fun.
True, it was a very fun trivia. Shout out to Mike Wade, Trivia Throwdown Online.
And then second most important is that my team won. Also important, but most important is that we had fun. Yeah.
Fantastic trivia. We did some testing,
always
category picking, live category picking. Very fun.
I think he felt bad for me because he gave us a softball final answer.
I noticed that. So
I think because you guys all picked team names making fun of the fact that I've blown it. Basically, every other team name was Mark's going to blow it. Mark's not going to win. Yeah. Those are like the other team names, unbeknownst to me until they were revealed. And then at the end, my team was up by 1 point again for like the third time in a row. And I think Mike Wade was like, we can't have him blow it 3 times in a row in the final Jeopardy round. Because
I was really hoping it was a super hard question because we did the strategy where we would have had 2 points left and we would have come from the dead to win, which would have been incredible. And I was really hoping for a stumper.
I think Mike gave me a raft life preserver there. Yeah.
It was great. Thank you. Great final. Yeah. Great trivia. Congrats, Mark.
A stumper is when you get a hand job from someone with no hands.
Yeah, just 2 stumps. Is it working?
Give me a stumper.
Oiled up? Yeah. How oiled we talking? Today, what we're going to be talking about in the news is gangs and tariffs are up first. A couple updates on those. And then Mark is on deck. What do you got, Mark?
A couple of employees being real bad and using the same method. They're fucking with they're getting in trouble at work for doing the same thing, and it's awkward. I don't want to tell you too much. You're gonna want to stick around.
But you need to hear how these coworkers are fucking with each other. And Pat, what do you got to close this out?
A lawsuit about a guy masturbating on a plane next to a woman. For an hour.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you an hour straight, right?
Allegedly. Yeah, that's what's being alleged, and I can't wait to hear the details because I was intrigued when I saw that headline.
Yeah, I read the whole lawsuit, so I'll bring you up to speed.
Fantastic.
That's just impressive to be able to keep it hard for an hour and not finish.
Well, who says he was hard the whole time?
True.
You know what I mean?
It's true.
Could just be he could have just been really.
He looked
really
at
feeling
and said,
himself.
Time me.
Yeah. You never know. I mean, was he? We'll get to the details in Pat's segment, but yeah, good weekend though. Besides the trivia, guys, have fun and enjoy yourselves.
Yeah, I went to a bar with Pat. We caught up because he's in Austin.
Oh, nice. Where'd you guys go?
A lot of sports. You guys see the Yankees have figured out how to hit home runs at every at bat with a new bat.
The Yankees, yeah, they're very good.
Well, no, you see what they did with their bats?
Yeah, they have the new like it looks like a little league bat with like the fat barrel and then like the skinny end.
Kind of. It's like imagine if you took because normally the fattest part of bats at the end. Imagine if you took that and you choked it down like a chicken.
Yeah.
Like it was like something in the
spot.
Throat. And you choked it down.
If it's legal, how come this is the first time this has been
legal?
Applied? Because they're hitting a home run every other at bat.
Yeah, they're also just
legal.
Seem to be very
tush
good.
Push legal. Like people are complaining about the tush push. I feel like this.
So the rule is the bat can't be wider than 2.1 whatever centimeters diameter.
Right. So you just move that 2.1 to the middle, like Pat's saying. You choke it down.
Mm-hmm.
Albert Bell is pissed off that he's not alive right now because he would be. I mean, he would be crushed. He would figure out a way to cork that design.
There's no way Albert Bell's alive. His heart had to have given up by now. His heart and his hate.
Big time alive, guys. Big time alive. He's 58 years old.
There he is, Albert Bell. Great back corker. If you don't know, look up the history there. Yeah, a lot of great sports over the weekend. Final Four going on. Who won them? I think we're taping right after one of the games.
Auburn's winning. Auburn's
all number
gonna
one
take this.
seeds in the Final Four for like the first time ever.
So Auburn's going to the Final Four. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Tough for Michigan State. But, hey, great tournament. Favorites winning, NIL era. Anything else?
Let's get into it.
Let's
do the news. Gangs and tariffs. Up first, a lot going on in the nation's capital these days since Trump got in there and tried to enact his entire 4-year agenda at the same time in the first 2 months. Once he got back into office, that seemed to be his strategy. It's caused a ripple effect, obviously. Some okay ripples, good, and some bad ones, some not, some less okay, some middle of the road ripples. Let's take a peek at the most recent waves. First up, we'll go with good news first. Monday, hey, it's at least some good news for once to start your week here. The FBI arrested Henry Josue Villatoro Santos, 24 years old, in Dale City, Virginia, near Manassas, which is 30 minutes outside of D.C. At 4:30 a.m. last Thursday, March 27th, they popped him with a stun grenade and locked him up. Henry, with 2 R's, mind you, that's how you spell his first name. Henry with 2 R's is allegedly a top MS-13 gang leader, on the East Coast. And this is personal to Herndon kids, which all the 3 of us are, since our town, Herndon, Virginia, was the first town that was taken over by MS-13 in Northern Virginia in the early 2000s. And so, by the way, all of the internet commenters, of which there are many, who say this is obviously fake because it happened in Virginia, you know nothing about MS-13. They have a huge presence in Northern Virginia. Since the launch of a task force to target violent individuals in America illegally on March 3rd, 575 targets have been identified and 342 arrests have been made already, including Henry with 2 R's, an alleged top East Coast lieutenant of MS-13.
And half of them are actually criminals.
Well, this guy, I mean, you can't argue with MS-13.
Obviously, I'm kidding. But the professional soccer player, the gay hairdresser that they deported to an El Salvadorian prison or Venezuelan, it's tough luck.
Yes, that's true. Usually the MS-13 identify themselves with tattoos, though, right? Generally.
They do. This guy had all the shit in his bedroom.
This is my personal.
As you see his arsenal there.
I see some orange there, Will, at the bottom of one of those clips. Is that normal? See that at the bottom of one of that clip, the clip of on the left hand. I feel like every time you see orange on a gun, it's because it's a toy. But I could be way off. I don't know much. At the bottom of that clip there. I don't like to
think this guy's those are all toy guns they found in this dude's room?
I don't think so, but I'm just saying I see the orange down there. But I don't like to see a Friday the 13th shirt. I don't like to see that. I want to see Leatherface shirt in there.
I think it's good for you to not be associated with MS-13.
Yeah, wait a minute. You're doing the flip-flop from last week because you didn't want Leatherface to be associated with a criminal last week.
I thought about that, and then
okay.
I thought about it.
You're doing the A press is good press. Nope.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because I mean, if this guy, is what they allege, he's definitely murdered a lot of people in that shirt.
So is Leatherface.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
true. Good
True.
point.
True. Yeah, no, but I mean, so it's a good one. Hey, MS-13 gang leader off the streets. If you are from Northern Virginia, you know how good of news that is.
Yeah, they're a scary gang for sure.
Yeah, and they fucking took over Northern Virginia in the 2000s and didn't look back. They spread out even. They started by taking over our town of Herndon, and now they're out in Manassas. This was Dale City where this dude was arrested. They're fucking everywhere. It's crazy. Get them the fuck out of there. Not as good one. Canada has announced their retaliatory 25% tariffs on the United States, despite them eating several 100% tariffs from China and not saying anything about it. And these new retaliatory tariffs on us from Canada include the normal stuff like meat, metal, and orange juice. But a few of these 6,200 items they put on the list are a little odd. Flamethrowers, false beards, church bell cases, live monkeys, passenger drones, Pat. So that's so common they put it on the fucking tariff list, and manatee meat. So they're banning U.S. manatee meat in Canada, which is questionable because it's a popular product from West Africa, manatee meat, where you could actually, maybe get it somehow, but it would be highly illegal to produce in America, which begs the question, how many illegal manatee steaks is Canada importing from America on a regular basis today?
Yeah,
where they
I've been
felt
to a
the
lot
need
of places in Florida where a
to
lot of the
include manatee meat as one of
I
the
think
I haven't
items.
seen manatee meat at it.
It's a self-owned by the Canadians because it's a trade war, right? So the Canadians are trying to say,
They're just
oh,
hurting
you're going to
themselves.
tariff off. We'll tariff our business people. We'll tax them, okay? So they don't import stuff from the U.S. But it's illegal to kill a manatee in the United States. They're
It
protected
is, or
wildlife.
capture. Oh, yeah, or do anything with it. Yeah, it would be.
Gotta be.
Update: Canada has reversed the manatee ban because they still like the manatee meat.
Canada regrets admitting to buying illegal manatee meat
Yeah.
from America.
What?
I mean,
Yeah,
were
it's
they?
insane.
I
No,
don't know.
apparently. So the article I was reading was from Canada, and they were saying, the analysts up there were saying they think they just added a bunch of random shit to try to up the number of items in the list. And so, like, some of this shit probably just got on there, like, maybe by accident. Like, manatee meat, that had to be made up. Like, maybe they thought they
Camels.
imported it.
It's illegal to harass, hunt, kill, capture, or collect manatees.
Oh, 100%. You couldn't
can't
get
eat manatee meat.
from America. You could get it maybe from somewhere else in the world, but you can't buy it from Florida, where all of our manatees are.
And we're banning fentanyl.
Cruise ship. You can't import a cruise ship, or if you import a cruise ship from the U.S., you're paying a 25% tariff.
Yeah, yeah. So watch out. I think the people who are importing those cruise ships can probably afford it.
Rocket launchers, which are 100% a regulated trade business between defense departments, if they are. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
us and our fucking manatee meat over here and our rocket launchers.
Aren't
The
they,
rocket
like,
launchers.
What about peaches
Sure.
or oranges or something like what? Like I don't. Okay, never mind. Whatever.
They did oranges. They're all over all the other regular shit. But
That makes
there was
sense.
just some like live monkeys, manatee meat.
They're
What
really
the fuck?
targeting Florida. Oranges, manatees. What?
Coats for dogs too.
Yeah, because it's supposed to like hurt Trump or whatever. I don't understand the manatee meat. Nobody understands it. It must have been added like on accident or like I don't know if it's like a troll,
Well,
but it's
Hurt us is what it's to hurt us.
Sure. Again, they take 100% tariffs from China on one of their main
Electric
products,
cars.
rapeseed oil. But but we're in this trade war over 25%, which makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, but the difference is that they're our closest ally.
Is Canada a close ally
they
anymore?
are. Yeah,
They're up there.
Well, they were. They
They're
were
up
supposed to be.
It's like what?
No, the
England
guy
and
said their
England and
prime
Canada
minister
both.
said last week, no, that's not anymore. So
Well, Canada, Trump has successfully
He announced
unified
it.
the Canadian people against America.
well, yeah, well, that doesn't sound like an ally.
Well, they're not mad at the
Joe
American
Rogan's
people.
getting them back, right?
No, Doug Ford said specifically, we want to hurt the American people as much as possible.
I consume as
Doug
much
Ford said.
Canadian, or more Canadian media than I do American media. And so I'm a.
Well,
I'm a
did you see the
CBC
Doug Ford clip?
hardcore
Because he
listener.
said that.
Yeah, but Doug
exact
Ford's a
thing.
nut job. He's a
But-
mobster nut job.
Okay. Well, they're all saying the same thing. The Drove Glopper, the Mitt Dropper, the English banker, their new prime minister, he wants to escalate it. He's not taking the manatee meat. All right. If you try to sell him illegal manatee meat from America, he will charge you 25% extra.
I'm
Okay.
still friends with
Not
the
playing around.
I'm still friends with the Canadians.
Me too. I have no problem. Unlike Doug Ford, I don't want to hurt the Canadian people at all.
We had several Canadians on trivia.
Love 'em. The
well,
best.
yeah, but Joe Rogan's getting Canada back, right? He's not even going to.
So it turns out, we were chatting about this in the Discord. Turns out he doesn't go international
okay.
for UFC at all. So yes,
I'm
he's not going to Canada.
Because their government sucks.
But especially Canada, right? He's especially
He
Canada.
did say, "I'd rather go to Russia than Canada."
And he
So
meant
doesn't
it.
go. He doesn't go overseas at all. But if he started, Canada would be towards the end of his list of.
He meant it, guys. Real quick, just a quick diatribe, just because I still have the Albert Bell Wikipedia up here, and I
Yeah,
don't want
sure.
to get too far off the subject. But in 1995, guys, some teenagers egged Albert Bell's house in
no.
Euclid, Ohio.
Ooh, big mistake. That's like egging MS-13's house.
Yeah, I guess he turned the teenagers away. and then they came back with eggs, and he chased one of them down with his car.
Oh, with his car. Yeah, that's right. I remember that with his car.
And he bumped him. He hit the kid with his car.
Albert Bell, dude.
He's spitting
Legend.
on umps.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I bet I hope he's enjoying this Yankees thing with the bat changes, because I mean I'm sure it's right up his alley. Related to all of this trade war, gang, international gang, whatnot, Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett was asked outside the Capitol for his thoughts on how Trump is handling national security, and here were his remarks.
Congressman Perry, do you trust Trump's national security team to keep our war plans top secret?
You trust your mother every night to fix your hot pockets and make sure your Game Boy is turned on?
Got him.
The kid just turns off his camera.
It
No
felt like a
follow-ups.
plant. It felt like set up. I don't know. Maybe he's that quick
So
on his
Pat,
feet.
Pat, the reason, so I dug a little deeper into this. The reason why he got him so good, this is a kid. So that's a rep, Tim Burchett from Tennessee, I guess. And
Kid's been bugging him, huh?
the kid follows him every day.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
the kid target follows him every day. So he's had like 50 chances to practice this.
Pat, he's got a
So
few
one-
on
about
deck.
it.
Yeah, he's got a few. He's worked it out with people.
It's like
in
a
his
rap
office.
battle.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So one day he was like, all right, intern, you got to film me saying this shit today because I fucking wrote it out. I'm going to tell this fucking nerd exactly about his Game Boy and his Hot Pockets and his mama. You got to get it.
He
And
nailed
then
it.
They got it.
It's hard to give an insult that long without stumbling. I mean,
Because
True.
he practiced that. That was prepped. He knew it was coming. So if you go to his Twitter page, you could see like all the interactions previously, and he gets them pretty good like once in a while. But no, nothing like that. That was the top own by far. I mean, he put him under the earth,
He
under
was
the earth's
feeling
crust.
good
with
after
It
that
was
one. He could
incredible.
tell he walked away with confidence. He probably had a few immediate poop chipping peas on the porcelain. He was probably heavy flow urines after that, feeling good. You know what I mean? Like,
what's a poop
Yeah.
chipping pea?
you know when there's like a little bit of poop on the toilet, and if you hit it with enough force, you can chip off the poop
Right
and
when
stuff.
your piss is so strong that you
Yeah.
clean the toilet. Yeah,
You know what I'm talking
yeah,
about,
yeah.
Pat. He had one
Call
of
it
those.
piss. I always call that piss sandblasting.
Yeah, he's
yeah,
sandblasting.
yeah. It's like piss power wash. Yeah,
He power washed it right after that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, strong flow.
He sent an email. Who's got poop in it, John? Because I got you covered today.
My favorite part is like it's not even an answer. It's just an insult.
You suck your mama's titty before you get tucked in at night.
Yeah. No, he got him.
Oh man. Well, I'll tell you what. One of the ways that reporter could, just get a little bit of juice back, a little bit of his mojo back, is by ordering some of the fine products from our incredible new sponsor, Brunt Workwear. Okay, they're joining our lineup of incredible sponsors, and I got to tell you, the boots and work clothes that you can get from Brunt Workwear are top notch. You see the craftsmanship, the stitching quality, and the hat that I'm wearing. Now, feast your eyes on the Marin boot right there. Okay, that's waterproof. That's super tough. Hold on, let me get it so it's in the frame. Okay, it's a beautiful boot. It's got like an excellent design, very comfortable on the inside, extremely comfortable. I'm trying to get it in the right spot. See the cush
Got it,
sole?
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's cush.
I mean,
there.
I've been working in these things outside all weekend. My feet feel fantastic. Okay, they'll get the job done all fall, winter, spring. Probably not the summer. Probably a little too hot. But I take them hiking, working around the house, doing whatever I need to do. They're specifically built for working. You know, guys who got to go to the job site. I even take these things hunting, which is a very big compliment to Brunt Workwear boots. Choosing work boots used to mean sacrificing comfort or durability. If they felt good, they didn't last. If they lasted, they wrecked your feet. Brunt Workwear finally ended that trade-off, designing boots that withstand the toughest job sites while feeling as comfortable as your favorite sneakers. Founder Eric Gerard grew up blue collar and started Brunt after his friends in the trades encouraged him to start a workwear brand that was really built for them. Brunt products are named after the guys he grew up with. Whether you need waterproof, safety toe, or soft toe, pull on, lace up, they've got you covered. They're so confident these boots will blow you away that they even let you try it out on the job, risk-free. Serious quality and comfort. For a limited time, Our listeners
Shit
get
is right. It's
Yeah.
damn, it's damn good quality.
fucking shit.
Fucking shit.
Shit.
This is a good deal.
Your
For
tongue
limited
needs to strap on some brunts.
a limited time, our listeners, get $10 off at Brunt with code HARDFACTOR at checkout. Just head to bruntworkwear.com/hardfactor. Use code HARDFACTOR and you're all set. After you buy, do us a favor. When they ask you where you heard about Brunt, tell them it was our show. Brunt isn't just about work boots either. They offer full range of high performance gear built for tough jobs, from heavy duty work pants to weather resistant jackets. Brunt designs durable, reliable workwear to keep you protected and productive in any condition. Brunt didn't just make a durable work boot. They reinvented comfort for the hardest workers out there. For a limited time, our listeners get $10 off at Brunt by using code HARDFACTOR at checkout. Just head to bruntworkwear.com/hardfactor and use code HARDFACTOR and you're all set. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them our show sent you.
Shit.
Workwear.
Great live question from Close Slates. Are they a tactical or patriot thing? No, they're a work thing.
No, they're just a workwear thing.
Yeah, very
work
comfortable.
thing.
I got a different pair than Will, and they're super comfortable. They're different styles. So as the people at Brunt know, as we know, as the people at Aldo, Albert, Skims, any entrepreneurs or big businesses even that sell things, that it's not just about business is tough. There's a lot of things going on, but you have to sell things and you do these taxes and all this stuff. Like a lot of times you have to work with other companies to get help, right? So like, for example, we use Shopify for all of our merch. We have since day one. We've never used anyone else besides Shopify. And Wes was able to set up our shop, and we haven't had any issues. And we've sold 100% of our merch through Shopify. It's the businesses behind the businesses that can help get you really, really going, making profits, not have to worry about tedious tasks that you don't want to worry about. They handle it all for you at Shopify. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not so secret with Shop Pay, it boosts conversions up to 50%. So way less carts going abandoned, way less sales going, way more sales going. Where is it? This? Dang. That's what you want to hear,
right.
baby. So if you're into growing your business, if you're starting a business, you have a business, I would highly suggest selling through Shopify. You better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling on the web in your store, like hardfactorstore.com, which uses Shopify. And businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. So upgrade your business and get the same checkout. Again,
Cha-ching.
that Hard Factor uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial. Well, that's a deal. Period at shopify.com/hardfactor. That's all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/hardfactor to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/hardfactor. Do it. And I've got a couple of people today that were being bad at work recently, and they were using a similar alarming, easy to use method. First up, get a load of this guy. Where is he? This is his mugshot. I mean,
He looks like Friar Tuck.
A slow Friar Tuck.
I mean, I get it. That might be me in a few years. But
Friar Tuck.
He's going with the Friar Tuck or the Ralph from The Simpsons look with a few long, thin hairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a full on. It's a bowl cut, but it's not. It's only bowl at the top. So like normally a bowl cut, everything is the same length. But here he has the bowl, and then he's got the sides kind of grown out.
He's got a double bowl, yeah. Yeah, he bowled the bangs as well. Yeah, a different length.
He looks like a defeated man who you're telling that he's about to get audited.
He looks like
staring
Nick Cage.
at you.
Nick Cage would play him. His role, like if they made a movie about this guy, it'd definitely be Nick Cage.
Yeah, like Leaving Las Vegas 2 again.
Yeah.
Leaving Las Vegas again.
You should leave him up. It looks like he's our third host.
It does. Yeah. He's a meme for a defeated man. So I mean, yeah. So wild look. If you get a work email saying someone did something bad, your first guess is, what did Joseph Ross do this time? Because that's Joseph Ross, and he used to work at the Wisconsin State Fair. So you might have been putting your life in that guy's hands if you went on rides at the Wisconsin State Fair recently.
Yeah.
I think I checked the ride.
I mean, he looks like
he's
a car
drinker.
I'm not surprised now that with the look now that you told me he's a carny.
He looks like he cuts with safety scissors.
His hair left him like all the women in his life. He's angry. He does do the safety. He should use the safety scissors. He's also probably not checking the rides because he's too busy harassing a female employee who is going only as JH to remain anonymous. JH works a desk job at the state fairgrounds in Wisconsin, and for weeks she suspected that her Coke soda cans had been contaminated. She's like, something's wrong with these. They don't taste
Okay,
like
so
Coke.
she's got her regular Cokes that she drinks. She's, because they work together, and that's her pick-me-up.
She works at the Wisconsin State Fair. I'm pretty sure they all have regular soda patterns there.
Yeah. Full-bodied.
Yeah. She's probably got a scooter. Yeah, so she flagged down a cop working foot patrol in her scooter and was like, I think Joseph Ross is putting God knows what in my soda cans. And the cop said, Ralph from The Simpsons? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. Yeah.
They just arrest him on sight.
That's his name?
Guy?
Yeah.
I'm okay. Yep, he did it.
Defeated man? Yeah, he probably is. She said there was a strong chemical smell and taste, so the cop and JH were like, all right, yeah, he's probably doing something. So let's put a sting together. Why don't you get yourself a little surveillance camera and set it up at your desk, and then go ahead and take leaves from your desk, get out there, scoot around. And so they caught him. They caught Joseph Ross in the act, pouring Gorilla super glue into her Coke.
Dude, that shit's so fucking toxic.
It's so toxic, Pat, that he wore latex gloves that he stained with super glue because he was doing it so frequently and with so much super glue that you can see in the picture he's wearing gloves while just slamming her.
Killer?
Coke. I mean, what do you think?
Seems like it.
Yeah, he wasn't happy with her. So Ross did admit to the cops that he constantly poured super glue in his coworker's soda and said that his end game was to glue her directly to him one day.
Want to make sure that she's stuck with Coke. Didn't move on to another brand.
My next step was us gonna kidnap her and glue her to me.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this fucking guy.
Lord.
Yeah, he's now facing up to 3 years in jail.
I'll tell you what, though, smart with the latex gloves. I love super glue. It's one of my favorite tools, chemicals. I always have it on hand. And, dude, you be gluing your fingers the fuck together all the time. Yeah. And I'm like pretty good at super glue. I don't want to brag or anything, but I use it often. And I still be gluing. In fact, when I buy super glue, I also buy nail polish remover to unstick my fucking fingers when they never get glued together. And this guy is a fucking pro out there with latex gloves.
It's not his first time pranking someone with super glue.
That sounds so much like less like a prank than a poisoning attempt.
Yeah, well, you call it one
it's
thing.
Hilarious.
Joseph Ross calls it another thing. You think this guy's going to get along with his cellmate? Probably not.
What are his interests? Like whippets?
Keep that mouth open. I'm gonna fuck
super glue.
His interests are not women that don't bang him. He's had it with
so
women.
Every woman is
he's
interested.
had it with women. Okay. Anyways, that's him. He's in trouble. Okay. The Wisconsin State Ground lost a shitty person, so that's probably good.
Okay.
Second guy who contaminated a canned drink. Okay, what? We have to travel to a Phoenix Elementary School to check in on Kurt Hinton, who is a fool who
Falcons
works in the
fan.
school. Yeah, looks like he's a
Falcons
Falcons fan. Yeah.
He's wearing a Falcons zip-up hoodie that would imply you work for the Falcon. Like, there's a slight difference between, like, NFL gear that's fan and coach gear, and this is coach gear. Where I don't know where
it
he
could
got
be
it.
though the high school just stole that logo and they're the Falcons.
It's an elementary school, so I think it's probably a Falcons.
It's an Atlanta Falcons.
I don't think
Coach,
an elementary school has that
Coach
sick of a Falcon logo.
No, I'm telling you, bro. He's walking around. He's walking around pretending like he worked for. If someone asks him and says, "Hey, did you?" He says, "Yeah, I did."
Yeah, Pat. He's designed his whole look to tell strangers that he works.
Yeah, I may have worked on the coaching staff of the
strength
Falcons
and conditioning team. Yeah, a little bit.
Funny you ask.
Yeah. Who do you think came up with the Dirty Bird in the 90s? It was Kurt Hinton. Now, Kurt says he did what he did was not wrong, and he just couldn't get up from teaching to go to the restroom and leave all his young kids to themselves, which is why he peed in a soda can at his desk during class.
Okay, I get that. I think I'm okay with that. It's not a good situation to be in, but
he exposed his bare penis in a room full of minors.
No. How do you know that?
Because you have to pee.
Because of the eyewitness testimony from.
Was he sitting behind the desk? Was he sitting behind a desk?
Well, 4 students said they saw it. So while several students' parents,
4 kids saw his dick.
While several students,
was he sitting behind a fucking desk?
Look, we're gonna get to what he said. They said. We're gonna get to what he said and all of the class said. Okay. While several students' parents claimed they got home from school and how was your kid today, honey? And they got told they learned Mr. Hinton definitely has a penis today, and that they saw it. The Wilson Elementary School English teacher claims that's impossible and that he's a pro at peeing in cans and made sure he was properly covered up. So
okay, sure.
I mean, if he was seated behind a desk, and I don't know what kind of desk they had, but at least the desks that they had when we were kids at elementary school were the old school ones that had, a piece of plywood.
It was a glass desk.
Oh God!
It's a see-through desk. No, I'm just kidding. It was a clear plastic desk.
I bet the kids who are claiming they saw it from like the side angle. Like they're in the front row or some shit, and he just like they claim they saw it like under the desk. You know what I mean?
The Wilson School District. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I mean, I could also there's definitely, and not look. You got to generally believe victims. It's a good policy to have.
Well, the kids in the classroom are going to win this.
You want to believe all 4 eyewitnesses?
What I'm about to tell you is as you know,
I would.
Kids, if they have a shot to get rid of this fucking dude, they'll say,
teacher they hate,
his penis.
That's true.
True. It could be 4 kids just saying they saw the dick.
Good point, Pat.
But they're going to win this one just because if they stick to the story.
Oh, they already won it. They already won it. The Wilson School District said he's currently on leave and he was arrested. So they've already won. Whoa. He actually got busted because 4 separate students ran to the principal's office immediately after the class bell rang to tattle on him. 3 11-year-olds and a 12-year-old. They said they, quote, heard a zip and the sound of running water and then also his member. Hinton told the cops that he reverted to his army training when he couldn't get another teacher to step in for him and peed in a can while spitting directly on the ground probably and calling the weakest member of the class a queer.
Mm-hmm. He did it standing up. He lit a fire in front of himself.
This is how you put out a cigarette and flick this. Put it out with his finger, put it in his pocket. Just doing some old army tricks in class.
The arrest is a little why did they arrest right away? I feel like that's
because 4 kids said they saw his penis. Will,
I know it's technically a crime and all, but
I don't think he's going to spend a year in jail, but he's fired and might be on a registry depending on how it goes down.
He's definitely going to get a fucking charge if they that's tough.
I mean, you fight this with all your might if you didn't show your penis to some 12-year-olds.
Do you bring the desk into court and recreate it?
Yeah, I think you do. I think how do you to get there is expensive, Mark, and you can't get there on a teacher's salary.
I would
sir,
be demanding a recreation if I was him.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he has a football players bring in the desk.
Yeah.
The Falcons
from the team.
Get all those kids back up there with the judge. You guys even have a high view up there. Tell me you can see it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's never going to court.
No, he's just never going to teach in that county again.
All right, guys. I read a little lawsuit that's making the rounds. Okay. Here's the deal. We have a not young, she's probably our age, entrepreneur, a woman named Neil El Sharif. She runs a vegan leather company out of New York City and a couple other things in the tech space. And she was taking a flight. Here's Neil. She was taking a flight from New York City JFK over to Milan, Italy, because you run a fashion company.
Woman named Neil. Is that like a dad was expecting a son and just wouldn't change the name, or how does that happen?
No, it's Neel is the spelling of it, but it's a traditional Egyptian name, Neil. It's just pronounced like the American Neil. But there she is. And she's flying to Milan from JFK, fashion capital of the world. And she booked not the worst seat, but not a first class seat. She booked a premium economy seat on American Airlines.
Premium, okay, couple extra inches of leg space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was in, I believe, row 15. She had a window. That's the jet that took her over there. So not a massive jet, right? Kind of a little one. And she settled into her seat. She paid $3,000 for it, by the way. Ooh. Settled into her seat. And according to the lawsuit, the food and beverage service, the meal service, started an hour before the flight departed. And I'm going to put this to you, Will, specifically. Yep, that's word for word what it says in the lawsuit. I'm going to put this to you, Will, specifically.
That's what she claims.
You've taken the most international flights out of all of us. Have you ever been on a plane where the food and beverage service starts before a flight that isn't first class?
I've been, yes. Simple answer, yes. Some international flights will offer beverage service for the entire plane prior to takeoff, and oftentimes that will come with like light food service, like snacks type stuff. I have not seen a full meal outside of first class served.
What the hell is
taking
taking so long for takeoff? Isn't the whole point is everyone remains in their seat and isn't pushing a heavy cart around?
Well, yeah, she said before and during meal service, which began approximately 1 hour before departure.
I guess if the plane has like a multiple hour issue that they know of, and they're like, you can't get off.
Right, I guess it's a possibility, but it's very uncommon. Yeah.
Well, the plaintiff, Neil, in the lawsuit, she observed the flight attendant, the American Airlines flight attendant, serving John Doe multiple glasses of champagne. I don't know. I'm just thinking to myself, an hour
prior to the flight. That's normal. Okay, so like international flights,
hour.
That's what she claims. I guess like it's the situation Mark's saying is what she's claiming. It's like there's some kind of mechanical issue with the plane, and they're filling people full of drinks for some reason to keep them happy because
there's no reason for you to be on the plane for an hour seated unless there's an issue.
That's what she sounds like she's describing. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that happened. So she gets into 15C, the window seat. There's a guy sitting in 15A, the aisle seat, John Doe, and he starts kicking back some champagnes. Okay, about an hour's worth before they depart.
He's about to be.
And right when she gets on the plane, guys, this is according to the lawsuit. As soon as she gets on the plane, she boards the plane, and she is greeted by her white female flight attendant. Just that kind of puts that out there right there. Her white female flight attendant.
So she's adding that type of detail, but not mentioning that there was an issue with the plane.
No, it says nothing about the plane being delayed whatsoever in the lawsuit.
She's adding
so
she's very selective.
Anyway, the plane takes off, and John Doe keeps slamming back these champagnes.
Why not? Business class, am I right? Well, economy plus international, which is basically business. You know what I'm saying, Neil?
And he becomes visibly intoxicated, according to the lawsuit. Okay, visibly intoxicated. Yeah. Following the in-flight meal service,
you know what they say about drinking while flying. Meanwhile, they're on the ground. You get drunk quicker.
The lights dimmed in the cabin, okay, after meal service, and Neil began preparing to go to sleep for the remainder of the flight. But before she fell asleep, she noticed that John Doe in the aisle seat there was holding his groin and rubbing his genitals over his pants.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so he's giving himself an OTPHJ.
So hold on, it continues here. When this rubbing did not stop but intensified, plaintiff realized that John Doe was masturbating next to her.
How visible was the erection? Because that's going to come into play here.
The penis stayed in the pants. He just started vigorously.
This is hard. This is hard to prove, man. Because if you didn't see a dong, I mean, he could have just been scratching real hard.
If you had an itch.
So it could have been a bad itch. Now
he had a condition, man. What if
he had
to make eye contact with her, of course.
He itched that sucker for about an hour.
Damn itch!
He just kept scratching that itch for the better part of an hour.
Does anyone know how to get rid of an itch?
Neil, any tips?
Yeah.
Now, she, according to the lawsuit, stunned, the plaintiff froze in her seat and began to panic. She felt extremely uncomfortable and helpless. Yeah, obviously.
Sure.
And she sat in her seat with her eyes forward, hoping that the flight attendant or another American Airlines personnel would walk by and see what was happening.
And nobody did.
Or she could try to get their attention. And John Doe continued to masturbate next to the plaintiff for approximately 60 minutes. During that time, neither flight attendant nor crew member walked through the premium economy cabin. So she's claiming for an hour, no flight attendant was on the floor.
How long of a flight is it?
8 hours.
JFK to, yeah, it's probably 8 hours.
That seems far-fetched.
But this is all before takeoff, she's saying, right?
No, this is after.
No, this
after
is
the meal.
once takeoff began. Then he started going crazy.
I feel like her
he drank
time-
too much before takeoff, and then started going
I
crazy.
don't think she
after
knows what
takeoff.
an hour is.
Well, okay. So it was they drank for an hour before they took off. Then he masturbated for an hour.
For a full hour with
Yeah.
no flight
I
attendant.
think anything over 5 minutes, she rounds up to an hour.
Forcing her to raw dog. So she just raw dogged eyes forward because she didn't want to close her eyes because she didn't want to be assaulted in her sleep. Which I understand.
Right.
That could be scary. Anyway, I guess through the assault, they're calling it an assault.
Yeah.
The plaintiff was in fear, panicking silently, did not know what to do. She feared that John Doe might touch her. Upon information and belief, the flight attendant knew or should have known that she was at risk of a sexual assault, and to keep their eyes on her, they essentially failed her, saying that they didn't walk through the cabin for 60 minutes. When John Doe eventually stopped masturbating an hour later, and the plaintiff was able to get out of her seat, so she had to climb over John Doe or ask him to get up. She sought protection from the staff and told the flight attendant, "Hey, this guy's been beaten off for an hour."
Okay.
And the flight attendant said this, "Honey, quote, there's really nothing I can do except I can move your seat to a different seat in coach." And the flight attendant, according to the lawsuit, dismissed the assault as normal behavior that women were meant to endure, stating, quote, "Men just do stuff like that," referring to masturbation, and that her husband, the flight attendant said that her husband does stuff like that. Like, my husband is always just scratching that itch whenever he
just jacking up on a plane left and right.
It's best not to interrupt him until he finishes.
until he's
Once
done.
he's going, you should just leave him alone.
So it kind of sounds though like everybody else was thinking he wasn't really jacking off, and she thought he did.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't want to victim blame, but I feel like this guy probably was being inappropriate for sure.
100%.
For sure.
But she's exaggerating the time and yeah.
All right, so
no,
here's
It
where it gets
wasn't to the
weirder.
point. It wasn't to the point where nobody else noticed it. Like, that's the thing. It's like, so
what I don't think an hour went by where no
Are there
flight
any
attendant
witnesses,
checked
Pat?
on someone in premium
No.
economy, and I don't think that the flight attendant said, "Guys, just masturbate, deal with it." I don't think those two things happened.
There were no witnesses,
husband
and she said
jacks
that's just
off
stuff
online.
that men do. And then she brought her husband into the mix. She
I don't
brought her
think an international
husband
flight attendant would say that.
into the mix, saying, "Yeah, my husband does it all the time. It's just
Yeah.
men being men."
he just jacks it all flat. It's crazy.
I think Neil's mad that they didn't do anything about him being a creep, and she's exaggerating a little bit.
Well, so they moved Neil. They moved Neil. They wouldn't move him. They They moved Neil. Neil moved to 28C, so another window seat, about
Downgrade.
13 aisles back.
And that guy
Downgraded.
was masturbating.
Yeah,
But that guy was masturbating, and then
Yeah.
according to the lawsuit, she saw the flight attendant then giving the John Doe more champagne and engaging in a jovial and friendly interaction. So she saw him having beers with him.
the only way this is true is if the flight attendant personally knew that guy and gave a flight attendant ticket to that guy.
Right, it's her brother.
Yeah, it's unless it's the flight attendant's brother. There's some exaggeration going on.
All right, so
Have beers with them after.
yeah, she had beers with him afterwards. All right, so here's where the lawsuit gets a little weird to me.
Yeah.
So again, this is Neil, guys, and as a guy who myself can pass for multiple different ethnicities, No, Neil's Egyptian.
course.
Neil passes as a white woman or a potentially Hispanic
Whatever.
woman.
Yeah, she could say whatever.
She's an Arab woman, but she passes for a white woman.
She's like the guy that played Baby Girl, You Go to School Today?
You go to
All
school
day?
today? All day?
Yeah,
He can play
she could
12
claim all,
different...
all kinds. Yeah, she could claim all kinds of.
All right, so this is
Genealogy.
what they threw into the lawsuit. Okay. Upon information and belief, but for the plaintiff's race, for Neil's race, the flight attendant would have admonished John Doe for the sexual assault, or at very least asked him to move. So upon her, she believes that because she's an Arab woman, the flight attendant did not treat the plaintiff's report of John Doe masturbating next to her as an assault. And if she had been a white woman,
I don't buy
they would
that.
have. Yeah, I don't buy it at all.
The flight attendant said, if anyone's going to cause a ruckus on this plane, it's you Arab.
Right. The white woman talked about her white husband.
Oh,
beating
now you
it
care
up.
about plane safety.
Right. I buy this more live comment from Tiller. He says, plot twist, he was the flight attendant's husband.
Right.
Right.
Husband does stuff like this all the time. Oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah. She said the defendant intended to discriminate against her because of her race and her national origin. And,
I don't think you can tell that easily from I agree, Pat, like from the way she just dresses and looks on a regular basis and her everything. It just doesn't seem like there's anything extremely giving that she's one ethnicity or another.
How she was dressed on that flight, though, but based on those pictures, yeah, that's a stretch.
Yeah, it's a stretch city. Anyway, she's seeking.
The whole thing is a little bit like, I mean, they're gonna definitely. She's going for a
That's
settlement.
what I'm saying.
Obviously.
I mean, if the guy was rubbing his penis for an hour or even over 5 seconds, then he's a piece of shit. You shouldn't be doing that on a plane. You should get in trouble for that. But some of the things she's saying is like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like there could be two wrongs to this story, and her wrong is
Think it's
just
gonna go to court, Pat?
exaggeration.
There's no fun. I mean, if I was a judge and I'm not, I would dismiss most of the claims, and then I would leave like one claim, two claims, maybe. They should have moved the guy if he was masturbating. 100%.
Maybe you could get a 2-for-1 with him and the Falcons guy, and just them recreating what they were doing. And
All right, start the stopwatch.
We need more courtroom recreation.
Start the timer.
bring this guy a bunch of champagne, and while you're bringing in the desk. We'll go desk
right.
first. Let's get him like he'll get loaded while we do the desk guy.
Let's get Eczema Steve in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good point. Pepper says, "What if he had a rash in live comments?"
Rashy Ronald.
And also, Pepper's doing some research for us. Remember, we did some stories about some high dose edibles. He took 1,350 mgs, and he's going to document it for us to see, to give us the lowdown on how that went.
I would recommend leaving that to Pepper. Everyone else,
Right? Yeah. No, let the experts do what they do, and we'll report back on his findings.
I can't even do 1/10 of that.
Anyway, that's the show. Get out there and have a great fucking day.
The cream of the crop!